market. Well, it used to be at least. Now it's less about meat and more about hooves, fat, tripe and bones. Animal offcuts have become the affordable option for Venezuelans, priced out by hyperinflation. Anything makes a good soup or stew.
Alright, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rekak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. Now, I was just scrolling down my YouTube page, man, and I came across this video put up by the BBC. You know, a short little documentary about the situation over there in the land of Venezuela. All right, and how basically there is a great famine in the land over there. Okay, and basically what you're having it is to where how Esau, the so-called white man being in rulership, he's so greedy. He could end world hunger overnight if he wanted to, man. All right, but at the same time he ain't gonna do that. Why? Because he's the devil. All right, and the reason why I'm going into this video is this is nothing but prophecy speaking, man. All right, and it might seem like things, for the average peon out there, that things just keep going on, steadily going on. You got your job, you get paid every month and whatever, but there's gonna come a time where these elites are gonna crash this economy, and just like Venezuela, it's gonna be even worse. All right, because they ain't having such a good fucking time over there in Venezuela, man. I'll just tell it like it is. All right. They got that hyperinflation going on. What did he say? Hyperinflation.
Animal offcuts have become the affordable option for Venezuelans, priced out by hyperinflation.
Animal offcuts are now the desired choice of meat for purchases. People are prioritizing buying fat to feed their children, man. All right, and they, because of hyperinflation and all of that, because there's nothing else to be sold. All right, one guy even said that he's, their electricity keeps cutting off like 10 times a day. Their fridges cut out like 10 times a day. And before you know it, they're selling raw meat. And people are so desperate that they're even turning to buying this raw meat, man. All right. And that hyperinflation, all right, that happened at a time in the Book of Kings, man. When you go into the history and you look at the Book of Kings, what is 2 Kings, the 24th chapter? Or is it 2 Kings, the 6th chapter? Let's see. Yep, here we go. All right, and what I'm about to read is an example of ancient hyperinflation. Okay, an example of ancient hyperinflation. Okay, this is 2 Kings 6 and 25. And there was a great famine in the land in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it. All right. In fact, let me start up from 24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, because when in ancient warfare, when a land or a particular group of people, they get besieged, all right, behind their walls. Basically, it means that no one can come in and no one can come out of that city. All right. So what do you think is going to happen if, let's say, for example, no trucks were delivering, to your local supermarkets every day? What do you think is going to happen to the shelves in that supermarket? What's going to happen to the people living in that town? They're going to starve to death. Okay. So that's what besiege is, nothing but ancient warfare, man. All right. It says, and they besieged it until an arse's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. All right. So an arse's head was sold for what? 80 pieces of silver, man. All right. So that's ancient hyperinflation right there. Because even an arse's head was in high demand, man. All right. Not even like, the shoulder or, or a cow's rib or something like that. It was an arse's head, man. All right. It says the 4th part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So even dove's dung, people were buying dove's dung. They were so desperate to eat dove's dung, man. All right. And if things were so bad back then, what do you think is going to happen? Because the scripture says that nothing new is under the sun. Okay. So that's ancient hyperinflation, man. All right, that's just a quick example. Let's go back into this video here.
Good soup or stew. Y jefe, lo veo comprando pellejo. Y todo. Es lo que le alcanza. Antes podía comprar otro.
Through. All right, so that individual, he had, he had 4 children, man. And he was prioritizing buying fat. All right, and the guy said to him, how many children do you have? He goes, 4. And he goes, you're buying the fat for them? And he was like, yes. Through, man. Yet this country that they're in right now, where this video is being shot, is in the land of Venezuela, where that country is so rich in natural resources. It's got all the oil that you could dream of, man. You got your gold, silver. All right, it's rich in natural resources, man. I mean, that's why they're over there setting up that coup. They got that one wide door over there, and they're trying to get Maduro out of power, man, because they want to go up in there, man, and take all of their resources. Because that's the thief for you, man. That's Esau. He's insatiable. All right, he's enlarged of his desire as hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied. That's what the scriptures say. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and destroy, man. John 10:10. All right, these people don't look happy over there, man. All right, why? Because they're having to buy raw meat to feed their families.
Rotten beef is also sold here in this market.
And this guy, that's doing the documentary, he's eating good. All right, he's gonna go back eventually. He's gonna go back on a plane, come back to the UK or wherever he lives. All right, and he's gonna have his heating on. He's gonna have running water, electricity. All right, so he's just looking at it like, damn. Like, so how much more the average peon over here in London that don't know what the fuck's going on, man? All right, they ain't even praying to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, asking him for forgiveness and asking him to deal with them in the spirit that they may be able to endure in these last days. Only the elect are doing that, man. All right, we're blowing the alarm, we're sounding the alarm, right? In the Lord's holy mountain, letting all the inhabitants of the land tremble, man. It's a day of darkness, man. The time that's coming is like no other since there was a nation. So we just read about the scene in Kings, about the ancient example of hyperinflation. There's a time coming like that that's going to eclipse that time, man. All right? So you keep tempting the Lord.
It smells strong. It's got flies all over it. Y la gente come, lo compra. Se lo compro, que imagínate que van a hacer. Lo más barato. Pienso que como está la situación, la gente compra lo que sea ahorita para el consumo. Porque no quiere.
He said the situation is so critical here that people are buying anything. Okay? And they can't afford a kilo of beef or pork or chicken, man. All right? So they're buying raw meat. And they're prioritizing buying the offcuts and all fat and all of that, man. All right? They can't afford to buy that real stuff, man. That's the spirit. As I'm talking right now, there's a guy that's just carrying a bottle of water in his arm, man. And he's, over here right now, things are cushy, man. People are going to the shops. They're going to them shelves. They're not empty. They're full up, man. And right now, you can go into a shop. You can buy what you want, man. You can get some yarn. You can get some, you can get some biscuits. You can get whatever the fuck you want, man. Cookies, Oreos, and all of that, man. You can get what the fuck you want. All right? But there's going to come a time where you ain't going to be able to, man. All right? And the situation in Venezuela is coming to a city near you real fast.
A kilo of beef costs up to a third of the monthly minimum wage and would provide maybe a couple of meals, but this rotten beef is 1% of a salary. Refrigerators in the market have constant power cuts.
Y si falla la luz 10 veces en el día, aparte de eso se va por 4 horas seguidas. Al otro día cuando tú vas a sacar la mercancía está en malas condiciones.
It's not just electricity. There's chaos everywhere.
And that's it, man. All right, and you can watch the rest of the video for yourself. Lord willing, I'll put the link of this video in the description box. But now what I'm gonna do now is get into some scriptures, man. Okay, just get into these scriptures. This is in a time of famine. This is what's gonna happen to us. All right, because the Lord is gonna take care of His men. All right, just like in the time, like the scripture says, what the things that are written before time were written for our learning. Okay. This blue letter Bible don't even want to work for me right now, man. This is Satan. 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 1. And Elijah the Tishbite who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, as the Lord Yahweh power of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. All right. So Elijah told Ahab that, look, man, the Lord was going to cause a famine in the land, and there's not going to be no rain. All right. Because if you don't have rain to water your crops, then what's growing, man? All right. What you going to eat? All right. Where you going to get your grain from? Okay. It says, hey, just like in the time of Egypt when the Lord was dealing with Joseph, man. All right. And he told, Pharaoh at that time to basically, look, he interpreted his dream and he said, what, you're going to have 7 years of famine, but you're going to have 7 years of plenty before that famine. So in the 7 years of plenty, what you should do is you should, build up these storehouses for the grain. All right. And you're going to become a great nation because everyone's going, and they did. And everyone came to buy from Pharaoh because he was the only one, all right, that had stored up that grain, and it was through the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And this is what I'm saying. People don't realize that wisdom and knowledge is power. Okay? Having power ain't just waking up every day and having things there for you, man. All right? Provided for you by your slave master. Okay? That's not what power is. Having power is having faith and belief, having the faith and the belief to call in the power that provides everything that you eat. Okay? That's the wisdom, man, that we're dealing with here. Okay, and that's exactly what Elijah was telling Ahab, man. Okay, and it said, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, get thee hence and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan, and it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. So he went and did according to the word of the Lord, for he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan, and the ravens brought him bread and fish in the morning. And bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. And I'm pretty sure that the people over there in Venezuela, they would love a situation like that, man. They would love a situation where, I don't know, a fox came out of nowhere and just dropped them a bag of something, man. All right? Something that's not raw and that's not decomposing, man. Something that when they eat it ain't going to give them fucking diarrhea, man. All right? So what you got to understand is the Lord, hey, this is coming back, man. There's going to be a famine in the land, and the Lord is going to deal with his men. Okay, and you can read on. There's another bit of the story where, in fact, I can just jump into it. Right. And this is another thing that the Lord did for Elijah, man. Verse 9, arise and get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. So he arose and went to Zarephath, and where he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering of sticks. And he called to her and said, fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel, that I may drink. All right, so the Lord was dealing with Elijah. The Lord was guiding him through the Spirit, man. And the times that we're coming into when all hell breaks loose out here, and there's martial law in the streets, and there ain't no delivery trucks bringing in certain things and filling up the shelves. All right, or what about the time of the chip? If you don't have the chip, no man might buy or sell. Hey, in that time, if you don't take that chip, basically, if you can't buy or sell, how you gonna eat? So you got to depend on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to navigate you, man, through these times in the Spirit where he's going to set up certain situations for you to be fed, man. And you have to, and all of these things are supposed to build you up for that time. You're supposed to remember these, this word should be in you. And you're supposed to remember these things which are supposed to strengthen up your faith, man, for the times to come. Okay? And as she was going to fetch it, he called her and said, bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. And she said, as the Lord Yahweh power liveth, I have not cake, but an handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. All right. And Elijah said unto her, fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son. All right. So Elijah was like, look, and that was basically that, hey, it was all set up in the Spirit, but Elijah was like, look, make it for me first. All right, make me a little cake first, and then go, and because remember the scriptures speak about receiving a prophet, man, in the name of a prophet. You know, you shall, if any man give unto one of these little ones a cup of water, man. All right. So what you got to understand is there's rewards in that, man. And certain people, you know, bless you up. You know, you got certain guys, you know, when you're going about your day-to-day lives and you receive a gift from somebody or something, man. Hey, the Lord, that was a blessing from the Lord, man. And that person may just get blessed off of what they did. All right. Because we ain't just any people, man. If we out there, you know, if we're of the prophets, if we're of the 144, man, we're not just any men. We were with Yahweh Shai in the beginning, man. All right. So that's an ancient spirit right there, man. And that's one of Yahweh Shai's friends, man. So you got to be careful how you treat the men of the Lord, man. Okay. And it says, for thus saith the Lord, Yahweh power of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail until the day that the Lord Yahweh sendeth rain upon the earth. So, the Lord is basically, look, man, basically, he set it up to where, look, he told her through Elijah, he was like, look, man, if you do this for Elijah, then basically, look, the Lord ain't gonna, you know, he's gonna sustain you until there's rain coming back upon the earth, man. All right. And she did, and she went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house did eat many days. And the barrel of meal was wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord, Yahweh, which he spake by Elijah. So the Lord was dealing with Elijah, man. All right. And they ate many days, man. All right. Just like the Lord said, they were going to eat until the rain came back upon the earth. All right. So imagine you're in that time where you ain't taking the chip. You can't buy or sell. You and your family, you're just, you know, you're on the run. All right. But then all of a sudden, the Lord, you know, speaks to you and guides you through the spirit to a widow woman. And she just sustains and just feeds you and your family, man, for the whole time until Yahweh Shai comes back. And that's what you got to understand, man. We're coming into the times where the Lord says what? My servants were going to what? In fact, let's get that. Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. All right. And a lot of these people out here in London, man, they ain't ready for starvation. They ain't ready for the famine, man. Everyone out here is proud. Everyone out here, you know, they got the jobs and that. And they're paying their taxes every month. They got their bills. All right. Everyone's got the, you know, the nice mobile phone bills, chatting shit to their friends throughout the week. All right. Making their 5-year, 10-year plans and all that. They ain't bracing for no famine, man. All right. So that's why when it comes, the scripture says the day of the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night, man. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. All right. That's why we ain't the ones that are in darkness, man. That day is going to overtake us as a thief. All right. Why? Because we got the foresight to understand and the knowledge to understand what's coming around the corner, man. All right. And we have our power to call upon, which is a strong tower. But only the righteous runneth into it and is safe. Okay. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. All right. So there's going to come a time where there's going to be a great vexation of spirit out here, man. All right. There's going to be great lamenting out here. The dead's going to be cast out as dung. Times of famine. All right. And dying by a famine ain't no joke, man. Just like the scriptures say. All right. Dying of famine is not a joke. All right. Lamentations 4:9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for the want of the fruits of the field, man. Because dying slow, having your body eat its own organs is not a joyful way to die. That's a very slow, painful way to go out, man. All right, that's torture where your body's eating at itself. Okay, so even over there in Venezuela, it ain't even look, man. To be honest, at least they're able to buy something. Okay, because they're gonna come a time, right, worldwide when no one is gonna be able to get anything off the shelves, man. Them shelves are going to be empty and it's going to be desolate, just like you see over here.
Beds left derelict.
You know, beds left derelict and that.
No garbage removal means outside hospitals you find huge piles of medical waste, including drips and needles. And piles of rubbish are also a source of food here.
Piles of rubbish are a source of food. So people are literally rummaging through trash, all right, and using that as a source of food. This is through, man, all right. And let me just get one last precept, man. Isaiah chapter 15. Yep. It says Isaiah chapter 15. Let me start from, yep. 19. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what's coming, man. All right. Great tribulation. A time like no other since there was a nation. All right. So yeah, right now, your neighbors are somewhat friendly. They'll say good morning to you and that. If you're lucky over here in fucking London, a bunch of stiffs that they are, But there's going to come a time, hey, man, men's hearts are going to wax cold, man. All right. And that's happening slowly now. You can see it, man. You got racial tension in the air. You're going to have race riots as well. All right. People are going to be banding to their own kind, man. Class riots. All right. That's what you're going to have, man. It's going to be all out chaos out here. And there's going to be martial law, man. And there's going to be a time of famine. All right. So if you don't get right, hey, man, like the scriptures say, the full storehouses shall be found empty, man. All right. That's the time that we're coming into. All right. So with that, man, Lord willing, you Arkin were edified. All right. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Kudash for allowing me to do this lesson, man. And blessings, double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well, and blessings to the hopeful elect, warning and feeding the flock, man. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.